Today, I want to talk about the different magical beings in the Miraculous universe. The Miraculous universe, of course, focuses on the power of the miraculous to channel certain beings known as Kwamis, with fans already being well aware of the 19 Chinese Kwami that are used in the show by Ladybug, Cat Noir, the other heroes, and even the villains. However, some fans are less aware of the other Kwami that are shown to exist in the world that aren't explored as much, as well as other magical beings known as Renlings that we see occasionally in the series. But before we jump into all of that, here's a word from the sponsor of today's video, delivered by an old friend of the channel and a familiar voice to some of you viewers.
Do y'all think Dictator Chloe would have banned TikTok? Well, you know what's wild about that whole situation? You or I could go to any data broker's website right now and buy anyone's data for a few bucks. It's completely legal and no butterfly miraculous is necessary. Big companies wish they had miraculous holders because their security is so poor, they're getting hacked every day, and their personal info is being sold to sentient monsters on the dark web so spammers, scammers, and identity thieves can target you. And they face zero repercussions from it. Just like Gabriel Agreste, am I right? The US government can ban TikTok but not protect against the very practices they were concerned about right here in the States. Where's our protection against the Zuck, the Musk, or the Astruck? It's on us to protect ourselves, which is why we use Aura, today's sponsor. Aura keeps you safe online by doing all of the hard work for you. They will identify data brokers who are selling your information and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. Give Aura a few weeks and you'll stop seeing information on those sites when you search yourself, which will lead to less spam. Aura will also continuously monitor the dark web and alert you if they find your personal information exposed. Gotta keep those secret identities in check, you know, even if it's painfully obvious who you are. They'll let you know with the quickness if anyone tries to use this information to access your credit or bank accounts. Plus, they'll give you up to $5 million in identity theft insurance should the worst case scenario happen. Your own personal Alex right there to turn back the clock. The Aura app also has a VPN with 100 plus virtual locations. And does your current VPN have all these features too? No? Didn't think so. You can go to our link, aura.com/cartoonuniverse to try 14 days free. That will be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data is exposed. And now, back to Miraculous.
Now, in the official Miraculous Ladybug comics, it's explained that there are many different magical beings that exist in the Miraculous universe. The show focuses primarily on Kwami, but there are also the Renlings, as we said, as well as other beings like fairies and genies. Kwamis are magical beings that embody specific abstract concepts, such as creation, destruction, or freedom. They existed outside of our physical reality originally, being something more like spirits that just had subtle influence over creation. Each Kwami was born when its associated concept came into existence. For instance, Tiki, the Kwami of creation, is said to be the first Kwami ever, emerging at the dawn of creation itself before anything else could exist. Plag likely followed soon after, with the first acts of destruction bringing him about, and there could be endless other Kwami that exist that simply don't have a miraculous to channel them yet, and others could still be born yet when certain concepts that don't exist yet are finally thought of into existence. At this time, the Renlings were also said to come into existence, magical beings that embody virtues as opposed to concepts. Thousands of years ago, a Chinese monk began crafting powerful artifacts known as the Miraculous, objects designed to channel the spirit of the Kwami into the physical world so that they can interact with humans and also use their powers to help them. These were held onto by the Order of the Guardians of the Miraculous, who were known to lend them out to different people across time and history in order to shape the world into a better version of itself. And sometimes these would become lost and fall into the hands of the wrong people. I like to think that the first set of Miraculouses were likely based on the 12 animals of the Chinese zodiac because of the importance they already had in China. Among these would be the mouse, the ox, and the pig, each containing unique abilities, like the mouse giving the power to turn someone into multiple smaller versions of themselves, the ox being impervious to damage, and the pig bringing about jubilation or joyful illusions. As time went on, many more Miraculous would be crafted, with the chief miracle box containing 19 of them, including the 12 Zodiac Kwami, and 7 new ones. The Chinese miracle box ended up in France after the original temple of the Order of the Guardians was destroyed by Master Fu when he created a Centamonster to get him food, with Master Fu traveling around the world before finally ending up there in an attempt to keep the box hidden. These 19 Miraculous were believed to be the only ones that we knew to exist, until the Miraculous New York special where a brand new Kwami was revealed. In the Miraculous New York special, Marinette's class travels to New York for a French-American Friendship Week, where they end up in a battle with Gabriel for the Miraculous of the Eagle. The Eagle Miraculous houses Leary, the Kwami of Liberation, granting its wielder the power to remove any constraints holding them back. After being used and abused by Gabriel, it ends up in the hands of Jessica, a Native American superhero known as Sparrow. With the power of Leary, she's able to turn into the hero Eagle, setting up the possibility of her recurring in Miraculous Ladybug. However, at the end of the special, we also get a scene where she meets the guardian of the Native American Miracle Box named Monk. At first, he wants Jessica to return the Kwami to him, as it had been missing from his Miracle Box for a very long time. Jessica, however, holding the Kwami of Liberation, is able to convince Monk that maybe now is not the time to lock the Kwami away, and instead they should be liberated in order to create a new team of superheroes to help liberate America. The Native American Miraculouses may have been created in China and then transported to America to provide protective powers to the other continental mass across the sea. However, they reflect Native American ideas and symbols, such as Leary, the Kwami of Liberation or Freedom, being an eagle, and the Miracle Box seeming to contain Kwamis for a Thunderbird and bear, for instance. With that in mind, it's possible they were developed independently in America, though the Miraculous spellbook that contains the Chinese Kwami also had entries for the Kwami of the eagle, indicating that they were very aware of the American Miracle Box's existence, even if they weren't overseeing it themselves. Like the Chinese Miracle Box, the Native American Miracle Box has some Miraculous prominently featured on top, with others being hidden more so in compartments on the side that seem to be less important. This implies that the Native American team would likely be composed of 5 key heroes holding 5 key Kwami, with more compartments existing to explore later that would be given to other people who support this team. This 5 Kwami team would have included the Thunderbird, the Wolf, the Bear, the Bison, and the Eagle, with the Thunderbird seemingly being the extra powerful Kwami contained at the very center, ruling over the others. As for the other compartments, the running idea appears to be that there would be 12 Kwami in this box, representing the 12 Native American zodiac, though there would be some changes apparently to not overlap with existing Kwami in the Chinese box. You can see some of these animals in the opening credits of the New York special, foreshadowing the reveal of all these Kwami and what could be an amazing spin-off show. While the Miraculous New York special introduced the existence of the American Miracle Box and its Kwamis, the Miraculous Shanghai special further expanded on the concept of the other magical beings by introducing the Renlings talked about before. These are those separate class of beings that look like Kwami, but that embody virtues instead of concepts. While the Kwami each require their own unique Miraculous in order to interact with the world, the Renlings are more of a united group of beings who work together and connect to humans through a single item known as the Prodigious. While visiting Shanghai, Marinette gets wrapped up in an adventure leading to this Prodigious ending up in the hands of a young thief named Faye. Unlike the power of a Kwami, which can be granted to anyone who holds the Miraculous, the Prodigious requires the person holding it to embody different virtues in order to connect with the Renling's power. Each Renling is tied to a different virtue like proficiency, compassion, patience, perseverance, righteousness, and honesty. It's by embracing one of these virtues that you get the power to turn into one of the different animals that each of these different Renlings represent. There's also a Renling of Honesty taking the form of an eagle, which doesn't just give her the ability to fly, but gives the wielder the ability to perceive the impossible with the eagle's sharp eyes. You can also transform to a monkey through righteousness, a bear through perseverance, and a turtle through patience. The most important of these is Long Long, who represents proficiency, and when mastered, allows the user to transform into the dragon, wielding elemental control over fire, water, and wind. This makes the wielder of the Prodigious basically an Animorph who also has to master certain virtues. It's easy to see how there was some sort of hope that this would lead to a spin-off following this character in China as she uses her powers in order to fight evil. But unfortunately, that never emerged, and instead we don't see this character again until the season 5 finale, where she shows up alongside a lot of the other heroes from around the world in order to help fight against Gabriel's akumatized army. The Prodigious itself apparently has a similar origin to the Miraculous. After this separate order and temple was destroyed, however, the Prodigious became lost and eventually fell into the hands of someone who maybe wasn't intending to be bad, but was ultimately unworthy and not able to embody the virtues. It makes me wish that the Miraculous universe was called something else, because there's so many different magical items and magical beings that could exist alongside the Kwami and the Renlings. And while those will undoubtedly continue to be explored, especially in specials, it would have been cool if the universe itself had a more generic name that all these different things could easily fall under. But what do you guys think? These are all the well-known power sources I know about in the Miraculous universe, but if there's anything I missed, let me know in the comments down below, and if you still need more Ladybug mythology, check out our 36-minute breakdown of how the yin-yang symbolism affects the entire show. And don't forget to check out the sponsor of today's video, Aura. Link in the pinned comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time.